we have a really fascinating story coming from the center of California. And the next leader to join the Signal stage is Irma Olguin. Irma is the CEO and co-founder of Bitwise Industries, and it's a special kind of organization that I'm going to let Irma tell you about, but it has a special place in my heart because I've worked with these kinds of organizations for more than a decade now, and what they're doing is truly unique. So Irma, take it away.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. My name is Irma Olguin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a company called Bitwise Industries, which is in the heart of Central California. We started Bitwise in 2013 with the idea that we could use the technology industry to fix a city, which is a pretty audacious claim to make. But if you understand really anything about the center of California, it's not what you think of when you typically think of California. And it's certainly not where you go to look for the technology industry in that state. Central California is a very, very challenged place. We produce between 20 and 30% of the world's food. Which means that the driving industry there is and always has been agriculture. And what that creates is a system of essentially modern day feudalism, but it's, these are the folks who own and manage the farms or the food production. And then this is the labor that produces that food, right? So the actual farm laborers that work in the fields. And so you've got this like huge divide between the folks who have opportunity and of course the folks who do not. And that's the context for starting Bitwise was how do you use the technology industry, create a technology center of global importance in a place like that, one of America's arguably most broken cities. And that's what Bitwise set out to do. Like I said, 7 years ago, we've had some really neat success doing that since then by creating technology ecosystems. In terms of those ecosystems, what we really had to do was sort of study what other places were doing. What did the Silicon Valley, Portland, and Austin do that we had not done? And it came down to three things. Technology education, sort of this, how do you take somebody from a story of poverty and put them into a technology job or give them a pathway to that? A sense of place. Where do you physically find the technology industry when you are in an underdog city, right? A Fresno, a Bakersfield, a Merced, a Tacoma, a Memphis. Where do you physically go to find the technology industry? And then what's the proof? How do you prove that you can build and ship world-class software using underrepresented people in underdog places? Those three things taken together create Bitwise, but it's probably best understood through the lives of the people that live here, and in particular, my life story. Having come from this sort of system of farm labor work versus farm management, that's the story of my life, right? So got my first job when I was 6 years old, rolling raisins in Central California, working alongside my family, right? My aunts, my uncles, my cousins. And coming from that place, when you sort of grow up in that way and that's all you know, that's what sort of surrounds you, you don't see things in front of you like starting a company or becoming a tech CEO or really anything but that. That is the life that is sort of laid out before you. And really the highest and best is being able to pay all of your bills in the same month. That's the story of folks who grow up in rural America. And the picture of what that looks like really is being able to get a job, let's say at the local hardware store or gas station or restaurant, moving up into management, and then achieving success, which again looks like paying all of your bills in the same month. And so not reaching beyond that too much more is really the story of what Bitwise wants to do and ends up